Okay, this is going to be the short version of the last video because I'm trying to keep them not 20 minutes long. So this came in as a question from someone who I know, a friend, and he has been talking back and forth with this chick through instant messenger or whatever, and it seems to be going really well, but every time he tries to set a date up, she's basically ghosting him or not addressing it, not answering the question. Basically, she's not going on the date with him, and he's frustrated. He's trying to figure out why. So here is a nutshell, and I'm not going to get into all of the evolutionary reasons for this stuff. I mean, I can cover that in other videos. I do want to keep this one shorter, but in a nutshell, attention. Okay, attention is currency for a female. All right, there are biological reasons for this, but if you just think of it like this, females relied on the social order and men for resources, so they could secure a better mate and better social status based on the amount of attention that they could get. So it's an evolutionary thing, and I do want to mention that because the fact that females seek attention is a biological fact, and it's nothing to be upset or mad at them over. Do you know what I mean? It is just the reality of it. Now, if you're in a committed relationship, of course, there's ways in which that needs to be done that honors the relationship, from an integrity standpoint. But that being said, like the fact that a female is going to be out there presenting online and talking to a bunch of different guys, I mean, if she's single, that's okay. Okay, that's her prerogative, and that's not only her prerogative, but there's biological reasons why she's seeking that attention. Okay, for example, things like makeup. All right, why do women wear makeup? It's attention seeking, because their mating strategy is to attract as much attention as possible from as many viable mates as possible, and then pick the best one. Okay, and she will have, if she's not totally committed and happy, right, she'll have a bunch of options. She might pick one, but then she'll have others that are just kind of orbiting, right? Because she's unsure about the one she picked, so she has others waiting in the wings as backups in case this one doesn't work out. And it's an evolutionary strategy, all right? So don't be mad at them for it. This is just the way it is. And so, in most women, even in their marriages and their long-term relationships, have a backup plan. That's statistically true. So, how does this apply to you? Well, she's probably talking to like 20 other dudes online too. That's something you got to keep in mind. She's seeking attention and she's having conversations very likely with other people. All right. She may be in a committed relationship with someone else right now, not telling you about that and seeking attention from you. These are all very real possibilities. Okay. So you have to understand that what you're giving her when you're bantering with her online like you are is unearned attention. All right, so unearned, because she's not earning it because she's not committing to do a face-to-face meeting with you. So she's not giving you the gift of her time and energy for the attention that you're giving her. So it's unearned attention. This is devaluing to you. She will perceive you as the weaker beta male. Understand that she wants to mate with the alpha male. Now, these are just placeholder terms, okay? So don't get caught up in the term and get all weird about it on me. All right, but she wants the guy that it demonstrates social dominance. That's why confidence, right, is a key characteristics of attractiveness. All right, so hiding behind online platforms, for example, not saying you're doing this, but a lot of guys will do that. All that's doing is bringing down the level of attraction. Granting her unearned attention is doing the same. So there's another myth too that needs to be addressed, which is you're not building, guys think that they're building chemistry or building rapport through online bantering with a woman. You are not, okay? Chemistry is built in person through physical interaction, preferably physical romantic interaction if that's what you're interested in. So generally speaking, if you haven't had sex with her, or if you haven't at least, depending on where you're at with that sort of thing, haven't at least been face-to-facing and having romantic encounters with her, all right, and I would say sex is about the only sure thing for that, then you're not getting See, when you have a romantic encounter, you get the oxytocin, the dopamine hits, all of the chemical hits that draw you to the other person. That's now building chemistry, okay? Then from there, if you add texting or instant messaging, now you're building off of these feelings that you've already developed through that romantic interaction. Does that make sense? So like the texting and the messaging can only build, and it's not very much, by the way, but it can build a little if is romantic interactions happening. But if you've never met her before, then you're just another person online. There is no chemistry that is there, that is actually being built. All you're doing is lowering your attraction in her eyes by being too available or giving her chances to vet you out before actually seeing you in person. All right? And by giving her that unearned attention, you bring your sexual market value down in her eyes. So all you can do with online banter is fuck it up. All right? You can't build anything from it unless you've had the physical interaction already. All right? And the second thing is, there's one other component to this, is if someone's really dysfunctional, okay, what can be built from this is fantasy. All right? So she doesn't know who you are, but bantering back and forth and believing you're this person that you present, it builds a fantasy. But what you present through just written communication or online is only a small sliver of who you are, provided you're even being honest about that. Now, we know you're being honest, but is she being honest about it? You really don't know because you haven't met yet, right? So all you're building is a fantasy of what could be, a fantasy of who she is and who you are, and then you're trying to build something off of that, all right? And that's not real, okay? And so any kind of emotional attachment that you end up having through this stuff, that's without the physical interaction, but just through online communication, any emotional attachment you think you have, it's actually fantasy for her and for you. Now, chances are, though, she doesn't really have that much of an attachment. It's mostly the attention that she's after, because that's her currency, right? And so she'll take all of your unearned attention and that same unearned attention from 20 different guys, and she'll use that to build her confidence and to make her feel, to build those good feelings, that feeling of high sexual market value, to go for who she really wants. So she's really going after another guy, and you just kind of act as, somebody who props her up to go do that with your unearned attention you're giving her. Now, what she's doing, chances are, and I'm just going to assume she's not married and she's, trying to just use you for attention, period. Assuming she actually wants to date somebody, if she's not telling you or responding to you and going on a date with you, that means she's planning on going on a date with somebody else. And if she's communicating a lot with you, then she's keeping you on the back burner as a second, third, or fourth place option. Okay, that's what she's doing. So, how do you don't want to be somebody's second choice, okay? And you don't want to sit here and give somebody a bunch of attention, unearned attention, and have them just think of you as lesser value. All right. So the answer is, you've got to stop bantering online with these women, dude. Okay, you got to go on real dates. That's it. All right. And I'm not saying never talk to people online or whatever, but when you're bantering online with a woman and you're not going on a real date, that's signaling that you're not busy enough and you're not valuable enough, and therefore you can offer all this attention for free. You know what I mean? And so yeah, you have to cut the interaction a lot shorter than what it is and cut right to getting to let's meet up, okay? There shouldn't be any more than 3 or 4 lines exchanged back and forth before you're saying, hey, we should get together, when are you free? And that is going to assert your value. Now, if she ignores you or ghosts that, if it's me, I don't ask again. I don't ask twice. Why? Because I'm valuable enough where I don't need to. If I've asked you once and you're not enthusiastic about that answer, I'm not asking again. Now, she comes back to me a week or two later, says, yeah, you know what, we hitting me up or whatever, and kind of like we should hang out. Yeah, maybe, maybe. I'll give her a pass on that, but it's up to her now to set it up. I've asked once. I don't ask twice. Okay. That being said, though, I can understand and appreciate, asking a second time. Like, I get that, but you don't want to ask really any more than twice. More than 3 times is a definite no-go. It's not this isn't a scientific answer. It's just kind of, depends on how the interaction's going, right? I mean, she's really hitting you up and wanting to have this interaction with you and showing a bunch of interest. I can understand asking her out again. But if she refuses to go out with you, then you need to withdraw your attention. No more conversations, okay? You're not building attraction. You're bringing your attraction down because you're too available, all right? Which means you don't have any value. So take that attention away, all right? Now, if you don't just straight ghost her, you can tell her, listen, I don't want to just have an online now at this stage in the game with this one, because you've already had an online relationship with her pretty much. Okay, what you want to state is you just say, listen, I don't want to just have an online relationship with someone. So if you're not willing to meet up, or don't even say that, but I don't want to have an online relationship with someone. So when you're ready to meet up, send me a message and let me know when you're free. And that's it. And then if she responds, whatever, and she wants to continue to banter with you, just ghost. Stop talking to her. Okay? The message, let's say a bunch of time passes, 2 weeks later, you haven't heard from her, then she messages you again. You can not respond if you're not interested. But if you are interested, just respond with, hey, how's it going? How have you been? Oh, fine, good. How about you? I'm doing great. Hey, so are you getting in touch with me because you want to get together? Question mark. If she tries to ghost it or doesn't address it or whatever, stop talking to her. If she pushes some kind of answer, you can say again, listen, I told you once already, if only contact me if you want to get together. I would like to meet you, but I don't want to have an online relationship with anyone. All right? And that's it. You got to set your standard and set your boundaries. All right? So, and you should have done that from the get-go. Okay? So from the get-go, you ask her, you just say, you know what? I'm enjoying my conversation with you. Let's continue this in person. When are you free next week? If she won't answer, then just say, listen, I'm a busy person and I don't really have online relationships with people or heavy online friendships with people because I got a lot going on in my life, but I would like to meet you in person. So if you want to meet, let me know when you're free and then we can make that happen. That sort of a thing. That's what you say. Okay? You set the boundary. Do not give away your attention and your chemistry to the dead medium of a text or a written word in an instant message account. You're too valuable for that. All right? So follow my directions and this won't happen to you again. All right, thanks. It's already too fucking long. The video's already long again. Whatever. All right, thanks for tuning in.